Okay, but what do you know about I drove my heart to
Vernier Scalper.
Come out, my name is YouTube video. It's been Vernier Scalper. Today we will be talking about Earwig and the Witch. Why am I speaking like pasta queen? You know, Nona will be proud. Ingredients. Today we will be talking about Earwig and the Witch. I actually watched it. I actually watched that shit. Okay, Goro, I've been very positive. I've been saying that Miyazaki, okay, the dad. Okay, I'm not talking about Goro. I'm talking about Hayao Miyazaki. He made the trio trifecta. Spirited Away, Mononoke. Well, Mononoke came first, but you know what I mean. Mononoke, Spirited Away, and Owl's Moving Castle. So those three, the trio trifecta, he made those when he was in his 60s. Okay? So there is hope for Goro. Let's not be ageist, let's not be pessimistic, let's not be mean, okay? He still has a chance to create a masterpiece, right? He just needs the right direction, the right story. Has he actually made something that is not based on source material? Perhaps he should write something original. Maybe that is where the magic will, that is where the magic will happen. Because from my memory, he did the Earthsea, right? He did the Earthsea. Did he direct Ariete? Was that his direction? Or was that Poppy Hill? I don't know. But and now we have Earwig, which I did not know is also based on source material. Now, I did not do much research about this source material. I did not do any. Okay, so I don't know how good this story actually is, or how faithful the film is to the original book. I will say that this is a very weird choice. This is a very strange, it's a very off-the-road choice of a Ghibli film adaptation of a book. Okay? Because, well, I guess that there is some fantasy, fantastical elements to do with magic and witches, but it is very modern, right? It is very modern. It's not it is not an Ariete. Let's just put it that way. It is not an Ariete. I can't believe I can't believe we're using Ariete as a form of comparison. Oh God, this is like comparing shit to shit. This is like comparing turd to turd. Oh, now I just want to get into it, okay? Well, I was making my notes. I was thinking, it's not going to be a long video, but it might be a regular length video because there is quite a bit of shit to say. Now, when I started this film, I couldn't believe what I was watching. Now, I know a lot of people say that this is astoundingly bad. And I really did not know what I was going into. I heard that the animation is bad. That is all I know. I know nothing about the story, right? So I go into this film, and the animation, it was so dead. It was so lifeless. To the point where I started questioning myself. I had doubts. Oh, and because I watched it on Netflix, in my region, I watched it on Netflix and it only is available in English. I don't know what it is like in other countries, but it was only English. And it really did take me out because I was expecting Ghibli, so Japanese, you know, like that is where we get the vibes. But it was in English and it was in British. It was a British English, and everybody was talking in this very obnoxious tone. I was not. Oh, it. Oh. That was real. This is how I reacted. I had to tap out of the video, the film, because I thought I clicked on the wrong film. I thought I clicked on the wrong thing. I was like, oh, this must be some mistake. You know, it can't be this. But it is. I checked the dub, okay, the language options, and it was only in English. Even the subtitles are English. Huh. Okay. Now one of the first scenes where they go to the, you know, woman brings the baby that is Earwig or Erica because she does not like her name. They don't like the name Earwig, Erica. But Earwig is brought as a baby to the orphanage, and oh my god, it is so dead. Now, I don't even know how to start. So, the facial expressions are really bad. Okay, it's very bad. It's comically bad. It's like... So it's 3D, right? It's 3D animation and it's 3D rendering. Okay, it's reminding me of a lot of things. Like, you know, those Barbie animated 3D movies, you know, back in the days, like the very campy ones. The new ones are actually kind of cute. I will say it's kind of cute. Nah, I think that Barbie Dream House that is on Netflix, like one of the newer ones, it's actually kind of camp. It's a bit stupid, a bit brain rotty, but it's kind of funny. If you ever feel like I don't know what to watch, like I'm just not in the mood for it, put on one of those Barbie Dream House episodes, like the newer 3D ones of the recent years. It is fucking stupid. It is goofy. So it reminded me a bit of that. It reminded me a bit of Strawberry Shortcake, you know, when they started to do the 3D. Oh, there's a lot of transitional moments for these like classic cartoons, right? I was also thinking of was it, what did he call it? Walking Duck? Sitting Duck? Sitting Ducks? It's one of the early 2000s, like 2004 animated cartoon thing that I watched, 3D animation. It was back in the days where it was very shabby, you know what I'm saying? Like the 3D was there, but it was kind of like, it is not bright and saturated. Everything felt a bit dull. You know, that early look of the 3D animations reminded me of that. I watched that a lot as a kid. I really liked it. Code Lyoko. Also another old choice, okay? It's pretty old at this point. It has that dull look. And how does Toy Story, the first one, the very first one that came out in the 90s. I was born then. Okay? The first one, oh, the animation, like the texture and the rendering and like the grafting, the skin grafting. It is so shabby. It is so tacky looking. And just like polygons, you know, polygons unite. But how is it so lively when you compare it to something like Earwig and Gunji? This is like the sad reality, right? You have some... It is like, you can't do the 3D animation if it's not like super high budget, like Disney. You know, this Disney Pixar level of animation where it's so overstimulating. But I'm in no ways trying to defend Disney's choices, okay? But it is almost like if you don't put in that extra pizzazz in the 3D, it is so easy for it to look dead, like just dead and lifeless and robotic and almost cartoonish. But almost like goofy. I'm not a fan of Earwig's eyebrows. I know it's supposed to be the character design and part of her look, but it looks very odd. Like the way it just sticks up and it does not like move and it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It's just very uncanny, which is saying a lot when it's a 3D animation that is not even trying to be remotely realism at all, but it just looks so odd. Yeah, the expressions are really bad, and the eyes. The eyes are so flat. It's just, there is nothing going on behind that face. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I watch something like Shrek, and I see those facial expressions, I see those shimmery eyes, those big eyes and everything, it's just so... I see the emotion, I get what the expression is trying to do, but when I look at something like Earwig and the Witch, the characters here, it's like, it gives animation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think expression, you don't think emotion, you don't think what this person is feeling. Rather, the first thing that comes to your brain is, oh, this is a 3D animation. Right? You think of like the technical, you think of how it looks. You don't actually think of the feeling that it is trying to convey in that moment. And that is very bad. That is very bad. It is very bad. And it does not help that the backgrounds are so dead as well. Like, they are so dead. Like, how do shitty, tacky 2000s graphics, like, even in, now I'm thinking of like Wings Club and stuff like this, where they get creative and it looks so fun and it looks lively, it looks alive, it looks vibrant, but you have the saturation and everything turned up to the max, but it looks so dead. It looks so dead. It looks like a Sims game, or, you know, one of those computer games where they don't bother to animate anything other than the avatar or the character that you're actually controlling. Everything else is just, we did not have budget. We did not have the time. We did not have the chutzpah to do anything else. It's so bad. It's so bad. And there is not a lot of music in this film as well. I'm not even expecting for them to like use it in a frivolous way like Disney, but just some ambiance. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they were trying to do a slice of life vibe. Some nice kitchen music really helps to pep things up a bit. It is so stagnant. The whole thing is that, and when there is actually some music, it's like that weird folky, almost like Celtic music, or it's the band, the pop punk band, instrumental, royalty free vibes. It's a mess. It's already a mess at the start. I see why. And yet we're only talking about the technical parts of this film. I've not even yet gotten to the actual story. Not that the story is that spectacular, or not that the story is that worth talking about, but there is already so many technical issues. It really brings you out of the experience, right? Like, I don't want to be so superficial, and I don't want to be such a snob, like, the animation is bad, like, but But it really does ruin the experience. And you also have to take into context that this isn't just any company, this isn't just any production. This is a Ghibli film. And this is written and directed by the fucking son of the Hayao Miyazaki. Goro, this is an abomination. I think it's a bit early to conclude with this, but this is an abomination. This is sacrilege. This is not... You should not have released this under the Ghibli name. This is preposterous. This is blasphemous. This is very embarrassing. I don't know how this was just released to the world. You know that they have that opening sequence with the theme song? And we have like this beautiful backdrop, which they had to ruin with the black silhouettes of the piano keys and the drum. I'm sorry, what? Was he also in charge of the aesthetics as well? If we're going to talk about visual, we have to talk about aesthetic, right? So the Ghibli films, they all have very strong aesthetic choices that kind of ties into the story, into the characters, into the world building. But what exactly is the aesthetic for this? It's so generic. Like, I could not tell you what it draws from or what it's supposed to be. It is just generic 3D animation, slice of life, cartoon story, beginner pack. Like, it is not stylistic in any way. It's just, okay, we have our characters with the big heads and the small bodies. Well, I guess that's for the kids. And for the adults, they have the more normal. And we have the hair that is anti-gravitational. Okay, that is classic in cartoons. What exactly is the style here? What is the aesthetic? There is nothing. It's just generic. It's just generic, not even like the color palette. The color palette is just saturation, you know? What is special about it? There is nothing special about it. It is just... I really don't want to put the blame, or rather all the blame, on Mr. Goro, but Goro, how could you sit in the studio and watch this happen? Like, how could you watch this back and be like, yup, this is what I want to put out to the world. This is my vision. What the fuck? Like, what? How as a creative individual did you look at this generic footage and go, yup, do I really want to talk about the story even? What the fuck is that? Start with Mandrake. He is called Mandrake for a reason, because this is a stereotypical man. Like, what do you mean we cannot upset man? Yes, I'm skipping everything before this because it's not important, okay? I don't care how she's like drop off at this orphanage and she's a brat, okay? She grew up to be a brat and she wants to get what she wants, and it's not interesting. It's not interesting. I don't feel any connection with any of these people. The time spent at the orphanage is not long enough for any real emotional attachment to the characters. And now she's in this family with the witch and this Mandrake guy that is some demon. What do you mean we can't disturb him? Okay, we can't disturb the devil. We can't disturb Mandrake because his horns will come out. What is the horn supposed to be? Is that a euphemism for his big donkey deck, swinging it around because he's the man of the house, master of the house? Like, what is it's so tired. It's so tired. Like, oh, we cannot upset Dada. We cannot upset Daddy. Daddy will get mad. And he'll start throwing things around. I'm already winded. I'm already winded, both physically and emotionally, from having to talk about this. This is embarrassing. This is stupid. Oh my god. Emotionally unavailable, okay? He's kind of we learned that he's soon as well. Later on, you know, he's actually soon. Why is it so difficult for the dads to just be normal? You know, why can't the men just be fucking normal for once? Men are already so dysfunctional in real life. Why can't we have a normal, well-conditioned dad in a film that isn't like, you know, like when it's actually a okay dad, it has to come with some price of stereotypicality. You know, like, oh, he's very tough. He works a hard job and he's, you know, but why can't we just have a nice dad that is emotional and still, you know, tough and strong when needed, and a nice chap? Like, why must it always be this type of like, okay, anyways, I get it. We're supposed to have this vibe. Okay, that is the vibe of the story. That is probably the original source material. We're supposed to be in this cursed family. I do like his sinister design. Okay, I do like the sinister design. I like that he grows in size. What's the big deal? I can grow in size as well. He's kind of like him, you know, without the queerness and the sassiness. But maybe there's like a disrespect to him. Okay, you know, like him as in the Powerpuff Girls. That, yeah, I take that back. He's not as cool. He's really not as cool. Now halfway through the film, okay, at the halfway point, we're finally getting somewhere, because the cat called Thomas is actually going to teach, or rather just, you know, aid Earwig in learning magic, because foster mom, stepmom, whatever mom is not going to help. She's not going to teach. She's like, okay, she's not going to teach Earwig anything. So Earwig has to find other means of getting what she wants, because that is what the story is all about, right? Getting what she wants, because she's a brat. And I'm not talking about Brat Summer. And she keeps calling Thomas custard by accident. Like, those two words are so different. You should be ashamed of yourself. What about Thomas reminds you of custard? Just because he's a guy? Dude, not all guys are the same. How is he like custard? I don't understand this shit at all. Like, it would... now I'm just nitpicking. No, but really, if he were a bit more timidly and cowardly and like a pushover, I would say that, yeah, I can see how they would resemble and she would call him custard by accident. But just because he's a guy, just because he's the new replacement, substitute male friend in her life, and speaking of halfway point, everything before this halfway point, or what am I even saying? The first half of this film was just useless. It was just stupid. It was boring. It was just like vapid shit that we really did not need to watch. You can argue that it is part of the progression. You have to see her acclimatize. No. There is a way to do slice of life. There is a way to do montage. There is a way to do, what do you call it? Change. Showing the change, like change in the environments. Without having it to be so goddamn boring. It was so boring. It was so... When I tapped on the screen and it was halfway through, I had another existential crisis. I had another moment where I questioned myself like, oh shit, we're really watching this. We're really fist deep into this fucking story. We can't pull out because it's just starting to get interesting. You know what I feel like? I felt like you know what I felt like? I felt like one of those people in the posters where they put that foot. They put their foot in the toilet bowl and it gets stuck and they're panicking. That is me. I was already thinking, do we really need to make a video about Earwig and the Witch? Why am I doing this? Oh god, it's only starting to get interesting and the bar is low. And when our girl was stirring the fucking cauldron and all this magic happens, they're like gearing up for this huge spell that they are going to do. All that animation, the RAM, the computers, the RAM, all the RAMs, okay, all the RAMs, the shape. It went to this animation right here. Everything went to this animation right here. It's like they scrimped on everything else. Like they were being misers with every other animation in this film. Everything is so dead. There is no personality in the steps. There is no personality in the backgrounds, in the environment. Everything is just flat and still and boring. But now suddenly we had this wow in the cauldron. That is all the graphics card is for. That is all the graphic card is for. It's all for this one moment. Well, I guess there is another part where it does get a bit crazy, but now, Earwig and her new mom, their relationship is very rocky. There is a lot of tension. She's trying to be condescending. She's trying to be sweet, but with the undertone of, I fucking hate you and you suck. And mom is just not giving in, okay? The witch, she's not giving in. She's not softening up. There is no positive character development or development of the relationship between these two. It's just very, very volatile every time, no matter what happens, okay? And it was leading up to something. I knew it had to lead up to a outburst of anger because somebody is going to blow. Somebody is going to blow. It's not just going to keep like edging us. And the slap that happened, the slap, mom slaps her in the face, and it was so underwhelming. The slap was so... They were edging us the entire film up to this point. They were like, the entire fucking time. They had us like strapped up. They got like tied to a chair, gag in the mouth. Gag in the mouth, oiled up with nipple clamps. What else? nipple clamps, teasing us with the rope, teasing us with the feather, smacking us with the paddle. Oh, this moment was so anticlimactic. I was like, Earwig, she did not even cry. She did not even, like repel from the slap. The sound of the slap itself was very underwhelming. I expected a loud, tight slap. Like a meaty, a very satisfying smack in the face. I wanted to feel the air escape. When the slap is so hard and you hear the air come out from the place. And the spit or blood. Okay, it's not that violent, but you know what I'm saying. The soul, you could feel, you could see, you can hear the senses. They edged us for nothing. So that was very stupid. She did not even cry. She did not even wince. I get that she's supposed to be sassy, okay? I get that she's supposed to be a badass. She's supposed to be a brat. She's supposed to be this, like, kid that is just not fazed by anything. So, this whole time I was thinking, who exactly is this Bella Yaga, okay? And the correlation to the theme song and this whole pop punk band thing that they have going on, the music vinyl that she finds. Like, what exactly is this? What exactly is this? And the fact that we saw the other witch who dropped off, what's her name? Earwig at the start. Like, all these things, but they're never really addressed. It's just like little clues and hints. Like, okay. But the cheese, the crumbs, they're supposed to lead to a huge block of cheese, but we never ever get to that huge block of cheese. Really. It's just, I thought that perhaps they had the secret band. Earlier we were traversing around the house. Earwig is just going to the rooms, eavesdropping, snooping, and she realizes that the house is quite a conundrum because it's not an ordinary house, right? It's a magical house. So I was thinking that what if she walks into the band rehearsal, like a band rehearsal in the basement? It'll be very interesting, but she finds the vinyl instead. So I guess that is not happening. And now it turns out that I guess it's more of the band is a thing of a past. Well, it makes sense, right? Because you look at the figure. They look different from the people that is like in this dream or this thing. So... I guess that is interesting. Okay, but I really do like the organ version of the theme song. Or the Earwig song that is always playing, Don't Disturb Me. Oh, so cringe, the title. Don't Disturb Me. Well, I guess it's a bit campy if you think that is... if you contextualize that, yes, Goro wrote it, right? He wrote that song or something, or was that by him? But if it's a Japanese song, it would make sense, okay? Because Don't Disturb Me is a very campy English title for a Japanese punk song. I could totally say that. But I don't really like the song. It sounds cheap. It sounds very... And the English singing, it's not... Perhaps there is a Japanese version. I did have to look it up. But the English version is not giving punk at all. It's so flat. It's so... It's very royalty free. It's very Instagram musician artist thing. It's not good. But I like the organ version that Mandrake is playing in his room all dramatically, like, this is very Hotel Transylvania coated, right? We got some Hotel Transylvania crumbs. Now, speaking of his room, his secret room that is apparently just next door, and the scene later on at the end when Earwig stuffs the worms, okay, those blue and purple worms, into Mandrake's room, and he goes mad. Oh, he mad. He got so freaking... This is what Witch was warning us about. Mom, she was scared of this shit. This is the thing that she was like... This is an abusive household. This is domestic violence. Like, why are we trying to glorify this family? And the fact that after all of this, they just become a harmonious family. And I have so many questions. I felt like this should be a bit earlier, or rather even like near the middle of the film. And the second half of the film should be how they fix the relationships after the incident. You know, the incident of dad going crazy. It would make so much more sense, because I felt like we skipped so much crucial character development. Just like, what do you mean he went crazy? And after that, the aftermath is, the peace after the disaster, after the storm. Well, the animation at the part was pretty sick, I will say. The magic and stuff and the hellfire. It is very dramatic, okay? Very dramatic. Like, what are we supposed to get from this? You know, what are we supposed to have? The men are toxic, men are violent, men are fucking dramatic, men are just emotionally, like, they're just incapable of regulating their emotions, so that they resort to such like outbursts of whatever the fuck this is, because now magic is involved. And what do you mean Earwig is she's pushing the blame. She thinks that this is cute and fun and playful, and she's pushing the witch to Mandrake and saying, oh, now you two can enjoy and do whatever the fuck you want to do with each other. Girl, they're not fucking, okay? Somebody's getting fucked upside down. I mean, like... Okay? This is domestic violence. This is a domestic violence film. This is not cute. This is actually very dark. And when you consider that lore drop that he gave of how they were a band and stuff, and the redhead girl was about to kiss him, and blue hair woman witch swerved the car so that it did not happen. What is that about? There is something going on, like the Fleetwood Mac of it all. Where is that? Where is the juice? Where is the jealousy? There is some jealousy, there is some tea, there is something spicy. But we don't get any of that in the story. And like, why did he end up with the blue and not the red? And why did red end up with Earwig as a child? Is that actually her? And the ending, when she visits the house and she brings her child, and the child is, or rather, Custer comes to visit, and mom, his new mom, supposedly new mom, is the redhead woman. Like, what is this? It's like, you can't even pass it as a mystery or like a thriller or anything, because it's just has so little substance. It's just all these weird information that does not really add up to anything. It's just, I want to know more, but is it really worth it? Like, I want to know more, but do they want me to know more? It's... This is not a good film. Like, technically, It's not a good film. Emotionally, story, everything else as well is not. It's just really bad. It's really bad, and I just can't help but think, why was this made in the first place? And it was a Netflix movie. It's not even like a theater movie where they're getting money from the physical sales of tickets. It's just, why? Goro. I want you to make your masterpiece, but what the fuck was this? Like, what the fuck was this? Ah. And another thing that bugs me about the ending is that, are we just supposed to believe that this is a happy family and, happy and healthy family? Because we have to consider that children might watch this film. It's probably targeted at children. Okay? Is this like pre-brain rot? The whole brain rot thing. And this is like an example of like animation, 3D animation slob. 3D animation slob. Pre-brain rot material. Okay? This is proto-brain rot. Content. Like, are we just supposed to believe that this is a good mom and this is a good dad just because he brings her delicacies from wherever? Are we just going to ignore the fact that he literally beat up the mom? Let's be fucking for real. Even if it's magic, he abused the mom. The fact that she has to live in fear, she has to walk around eggshells, this is a toxic relationship already, okay? But the bar for men is fucking low. So, I guess he is a good dad because he changed. Or, he changed. He is now sweet. We see him being very sweet to the child. Meanwhile, we spent the entire film villainizing mom and making her such a one-dimensional character. Well, to be fair, everybody in this film is kind of one-dimensional, but you get the point. You get the point. The mother of the film, the mother is mean. And I'm not even like a big fan of her, okay? But the entire film was just trying to convince us that she's a bitch. Okay, you're trying to convince us a bitch. It's so bad. It's so badly written. It's so badly written. Like, you should not let your kids watch this shit. This is not good for anybody. Okay? Don't let your kids watch this bull. Goro. Okay, that is enough. I'm getting very sick of talking about this shit. Like, I'm starting to feel giddy. I'm actually starting to feel giddy. All I can see in my eyes right now is the stupid face of Earwig, that lifeless face just spiraling around. Okay. That is it, okay? That is enough. I don't know if I want to watch Ocean Waves. I'm kind of done with Ghibli, you know what I'm saying? It's been a very good run, a very long run, because we've been watching all of those. I'm kind of sick, okay? So, I might have to pass on Ocean Waves. I mean, if it's really that good of a film, and if it's really impactful, I would have heard stuff about it by now, but I'm not, so I don't think it's very important. So don't be surprised if I don't watch that film and make a video about it, okay? This is my channel. Willkommen auf meinem YouTube-Kanal. Ich bin Furnish Caliper, okay? That is what I said on start. Now like and subscribe and do all of that. And I will see you in the next video.